Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm just here to bring you a couple of my latest tag bags. I haven't done any of these for a little while, so I thought it was time that I did a couple. So they're kind of identical concept. They're obviously far from identical looking, but in the fact that they're kind of a little tag shaped bag. They've got a flower, ruffle trim, and this one's got a lace trim with some pearl. It's got a scanned in image of a vintage photograph, and this has just got a stamped image. So we'll look at them one at a time. So the first one, inside has got 10 tags, and all the tags are all different sizes and styles. You know, idea being that you can obviously just grab and put them into your work. So the first tag is this kind of smallish tag. It's got some lace trim, it's got a little vellum printout of a little vintage clock, and it's got here some sewing pattern paper done in a kind of like ruffled flower type effect, stapled on with a vintage postage stamp, another vintage postage stamp down there, and then some other bits layered up there, creating the tag. I won't bother showing you the backs really, because obviously all the backs, you know, they are tags, so the backs are generally going to be plain. This one, you've got some scrapbook paper, you've got this large kind of tab here with some vintage lace. It's just been stitched across there, and then you've got some various elements layered up, some flowers from some vintage book, and a little bit of vintage book just poking there, and a butterfly and a ticket and a clock. So that's that one. It's quite a large tag. Then this one again, it's quite a largish tag. You've got some velvet kind of trim as the tab there, with some faux de monte going across the top in a kind of pale green colour. You've got some doily piece there and some vintage book page. One of my cigarette cards there as a little background, and a cigarette card on here with some vintage sheet music, and then just a bit of kind of soft net, and then some corner stamped pieces there, and it's just onto buff coloured card, and then you've just got a little zigzag stitch at the bottom. Then the next one, it's quite a small tag, and it's just got a little stamped postage stamp and a little kind of image there of a little flower and a Martha Stewart butterfly, and a bit of lace trim at the bottom, and just a little ribbon there holding it. Then this one here is a vintage book page tag, and it's got here a little kind of piece from a vintage book with some birds on it and a little flower down in the corner, and then a little bit of, this is kind of like a fibre, but it's a soft, almost like velvety feeling fibre, really pretty. Just backed onto some coffee dyed cardstock there. This one here, it's just been literally popped onto some coffee dyed paper, and then it's some decoupage napkin onto some paper, and you've got various elements layered up there, so some stamped images, some printed images, some of my fabulous flower printables, a fabulous flower there on the back, and some coffee dyed, not coffee dyed, sorry, distress inked lace there as the tab. Then this one here, again, it's quite a largish tag, and you've got some decoupage napkin image here, some scrapbook paper with some stamping on there, some of my fabulous flowers from my kits on here, and a little butterfly. You've got some little pearl centres in the flowers, and then some stamped kind of details around there, and again just some distress inked lace as the tab, and on the back it's kind of more of that same scrapbook paper, which I thought was quite, you know, quite nice to kind of do that on the back. And then here you've got some more book page, vintage book page, and then you've got here one of my Matchbox tops, and then you've got here one of the swans from my Swan Lake kit in the bird cage, and a little butterfly there, and a little bit of ribbon there, just as the kind of tab, and obviously it's on coffee dyed paper on the back. And then here you've got a large tag with some scrapbook paper, one of my gorgeous girls images there that I just tore out and popped on, one of my fabulous flower images, bit of napkin that's been decoupaged onto some paper and stuck on, bit of lace trim, and then a stamped image here going across, forming a kind of belly band across the page where I've just popped in one of my printables from my die cut pieces with a flower from the Fabulous Flowers kit as a little tab, and that's all been distress inked. So that just kind of goes in there, and then you've got some distress inked lace at the top, and that's just been placed onto some soft kind of paper there. And then the final tag in this tag bag number 1 is this one, which again, it's a large tag, some scrapbook paper, some doily piece, some napkin that's been decoupaged in this hot air balloon, some more napkin decoupaged here, little journaling spot there, and then a couple of fabulous flowers, sorry, no, one fabulous flower there, and then these other 2 flowers are from my Gorgeous Girls kit. And then it's just got a fabric tab at the top and some lace trim going across, and it's just been stitched around on the sewing machine there. So that's tag bag number 1 with your 10 tags in there. And then the second one is this one. So going inside, you've got, again, 10 tags of varying sizes. So the first tag is this kind of smallish tag with some scrapbook paper and some stamped images layered up with a little Martha Stewart butterfly there, a kind of glittered one, on some coffee dyed cardstock at the back and a little lace tab at the side. Then here you've got a little gingham kind of small tag, which is super cute. It's got a Martha Stewart butterfly and then a Tim Holtz rosette at the top with a kind of coordinating gingham centre and a Martha Stewart butterfly on there, and it's just got a little bit of stitching around the edge. Then here you've got a stamped tag on some scrapbook paper with some vintage sheet music, vintage postage stamp, and then here this gorgeous image from some of my printables that I'm working on currently, with a Martha Stewart butterfly and a little bit of soft net at the top, and it's just on coffee dyed paper on the back. And then this one is, this is a tag from my Ladies Garden kit, and I've just layered up some other images. So this is a vintage image from a vintage book layered on some vintage book page, vintage postage stamp, stamped image of a flower that I've just kind of coloured there and popped on, and then here a butterfly and some lace trim at the bottom, and again it's got some soft net as the kind of tab, and it's just been distress inked on the back. Here you've got a kind of journaling card tag, which is just some vintage book page, which I've just literally placed on some coffee dyed paper and stitched it round on the sewing machine with some lace trim at the bottom. Then here, this one's just so cute, I just really love it. It's got a tiny tag there in some buff coloured card with some bits layered up and some lace trim on the bottom, and then it's got a bulb pin holding on a teeny weeny tag at the top. And then the next one, this is some scrapbook paper with one of my images from my Gorgeous Girls kit. It's got some decoupage napkin, some flowers from the Fabulous Flowers kit, a bit of stamping, a bit of that gorgeous glittered rickrack, some stamping in the corners and some distress inked lace trim on the side, and it's just been popped onto some card at the back. And then this one here, this is some scrapbook paper with a stamped image here, one of my die cut pieces there, butterfly, and some lace trim at the bottom with some pearly trim there, and it's held with some ball chain with another little coordinating tag kind of hanging from that, so you've got kind of 2 there. So that's that one. And then this one, this is just some scrapbook paper. You've got again some vintage book page, a vintage book page image here, and then layered up various different things from some of my printables, Fabulous Flowers, and then it's got a fabric tab at the top where it's just been stitched across there, and obviously it's just backed onto some coffee dyed card. And then the final tag, love this one, it just, to me, it looks so striking. So it's in this gorgeous scrapbook paper, which actually is kind of glossy. I've had it in my stash for years, hoarding it, and you know, finally thought it's time that I used it. So it's on this glossy card, and I've just layered up a stamped image here on some lace trim, And then I've got one of my die cut piece printables behind of the clock, and then some vintage sheet music, some stamped images of some postage stamps, and then these gorgeous flowers and butterfly from my Gorgeous Girls kit. And then it's just got some lace as the tab there, and it's just again backed onto some coffee dyed paper. So that's your 10 tags there. So obviously both of those tag bags are available in my Etsy store now. So I'll include the link below. Hope you like them, and thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you again soon. Thanks, Em. Bye.